Hey, what's up guys, Atomic1422 here and welcome back to another video. So, yesterday I had my wisdom teeth removed. It might not look like it right now, but trust me, I did. And in this video I like to share my experience with you guys. Now this wasn't something that I had to do yet. My wisdom teeth really haven't been poking out at all yet. I first talked about getting my wisdom teeth removed by my orthodontist about 2.5 years ago. He told me that it was recommended and that I should monitor it over the next few years. I just figured it was best to take care of this now so that I wouldn't have to worry about it later. It was very similar to how I had it in high school with braces. I didn't need them, but I benefited from them. So I had surgery basically first thing in the morning yesterday. I had to be up and ready at 8 a.m. I was very nervous because I didn't know what to expect when the surgery was taking place, and also how I would feel later in the day. To prepare myself, I read the before and after surgery instructions, or manual, however you want to call it, given to me by the surgeon a few months ago.
Okay guys, so it is 8:20 in the morning right now. I'm leaving for my wisdom teeth removal in exactly 1 hour. I'm currently looking through the instructions before and after surgery as to what exactly I'm going to have to do and what to expect. No rinsing, spitting, smoking, or using straws for the first 48 hours? What? I'm about to die. This is about to be the last day for me on planet Earth because I am not going to be allowed to spit or rinse when my saliva becomes extremely uncomfortable on my tongue. Help me, somebody.
My mom had to buy me some medications in advance that would help me the process before and after surgery go relatively smoothly.
So part of the treatment for this wisdom tooth removal is I have to take various medications, and this one is amoxicillin. The purpose of this is that it reduces the likelihood of getting bacterial infections in your mouth and your gums. So I have to take this exactly every 8 hours. So it is 8:30 in the morning. My schedule is I take this at 8:30, 4:30 p.m. and 12:30 a.m. past midnight. So I'm about to take mine right now. All good, so 3 times a day, 8 hours apart.
What I said in that clip is true. I literally have to take one pill exactly every 8 hours. When the wisdom teeth get removed, there is risk of infection because the removals result in a gash on both sides of the back of your mouth. Usually when that happens, there's a lot of bleeding there, which is why infections can be a consequence. And the purpose of taking that medication regularly was to prevent infections like that.
I've also got 2 other medications that I'm going to probably have to take at some point during this recovery. So the first one is hydrocodone acetamine. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It says to take 1 tablet by mouth every 4 to 6 hours as needed for pain. I don't believe this is a required medication, but this only happens if I'm feeling excessive pain in my gums where my wisdom teeth were. And the second one, I believe, let's see, this one is chlorhexidine. This is used to rinse the mouth with 15 milliliters for 30 seconds in the morning and the evening after meals, then spit. It's sort of like brushing your teeth with a mouthwash, essentially. So, this is going to be so much fun, keeping track of what medications I have to use when. Now, we just sit and wait until I leave for the wisdom teeth removal. Still have about half an hour before we need to leave. Here we go. It is time.
You can probably see in my face and hear it in my voice there, but I was still very nervous. I'm not someone who is used to pain, let alone a surgery, so I felt very uneasy the morning before the surgery, especially when I arrived at the surgeon.
Okay guys, so we are currently in the waiting room right now, and I'm waiting for them to call my name so that we can get this thing over with.
And about 10 minutes later, they called me in and the operation began. Now, the way the surgery performed was kind of interesting. It's almost as if you were going through any other type of surgery, like a knee surgery or an appendicitis. What they did was they attached a bunch of cables to my arms and fingers, connected to a computer to measure my heart rate and all other symptoms of my body. They strapped a blood pressure machine to my right bicep. They strapped a small gas mask to my nose, which supplemented me with oxygen that I could inhale through my nose while the surgery was going on. And they injected anesthesia into a vein in my arm using a hypodermic needle that would make me essentially fall asleep and go numb. When I say they, I mean surgeons, by the way, just to clarify. They actually told me that I would inhale laughing gas from the mask, and I jokingly laughed for a few seconds and was like, there must be some laughing gas in the room already. True story, but I digress. I actually don't remember if what he said was true, and if I actually was laughing after that. When the gas mask was on and the anesthesia was coming in, it happened so fast. 1 minute I was lying there with a mask over my nose and a bunch of cables and devices attached to my arms. Next it was just bloodshot. I was asleep and undergoing the teeth surgery. It was actually really quick, about 1 hour to be exact. So when I regained consciousness post-surgery, I wasn't even sure at first if I was awake or if anything was real. I felt like I had a combination of like schizophrenia and PTSD. But sure enough, I was lying in the same chair where I had my wisdom teeth removed.
Guys, we did it! Honestly, I'm half awake as this video is going on right now. The wisdom teeth removal has been complete. I think there's a couple of cotton balls in my mouth. That's what she said. I don't know how long it's been for, but successful surgery has been completed. Yay!
The first few hours after the surgery were simply just brutal. I was like really dizzy. My mom had to help me get out of the chair, and it took me a few minutes just to be able to walk by myself.
So, the worst part about it so far is that, I'm a little bit dizzy because they put me to sleep during the operation, and, it feels like I got 1 hour of sleep, so when I'm walking, it's not usually to walk a straight line. So hopefully that's gonna get better in an hour or two, especially by the time I get home. Also, this is the way I have to speak now. My entire lower part of my mouth and jaw feels extremely numb. That's gonna go away in the afternoon. But this is what I'm gonna say for the next 10 days. But so far, I have not felt any pain. I wouldn't be surprised if that goes away at the end. This is going to be a very torturous 10 days.
Even though I was able to walk by myself again, the dizziness didn't go away for quite some time, and my mom had to help me get to the car and ultimately home. I was lying in the backseat like this all the time, trying to get my head together.
This is going to take some time to get used to.
So you've probably noticed by now that I was talking extremely muffled in those clips. I'll point out two things as to why this was. So during the surgery, they numbed everything from my lower lip down to my chin and also in the back of my mouth so they could get the wisdom teeth removed. Everything stayed numb like this afterwards so that I wouldn't feel any pain in my mouth early on post-surgery. The other thing was that I had gauze in my mouth. So when the surgery had finished, there was expected bleeding going on in the areas where my wisdom teeth had been removed. That's usual. The gauze helped dry off those moist wounds, and they prevented the blood from dripping down and either out of my mouth or swallowed back into my body. I feel like that's also what she said, but I'm not entirely sure. Regardless, when you do have gauze in your mouth, you really can't talk well without sounding at least kind of muffled. Also, if you're wondering what the white band around my head is basically something like an ice bag, and it helps to reduce pain, swelling, and it can decrease inflammation in the back of your mouth if that's happening. For now, I'm just gonna call it an ice band. This is what it looks like actually. So there's a thick part here. That's where it's supposed to be cold, and you can press it up against your chin or whichever side is bothering you, and it can help with reducing swelling and pain there. After getting home at about noon or so, I sort of tracked how the rest of the afternoon was going and how I was feeling after every hour or so.
So it is 1 p.m. at the moment. It's been about 2 hours since they removed my wisdom teeth. I am still numb as hell. Like, I am touching my lower lip and I still cannot feel it, nor my chin. I'm pretty sure it's gonna last another 2 hours, but I still feel honestly kind of iffy. Hopefully this will be feeling at least a little bit better by the evening. It is now 2 p.m. Honestly, I feel perfectly fine other than the fact that I still feel numb from my lower lip down. I could probably show you what exactly it looks like inside my mouth, but obviously that's not for camera. The good news is I'm feeling honestly perfectly fine. Just waiting for the numbness to go away, which should honestly probably take like 7 to 10 days. And what you're seeing on my mouth is gauze. I can't keep it in one position for some reason against the places where I move my teeth.
So it's about 3:30. I believe I can talk again just fine. I took the gauze off because it's pretty much stopped bleeding on me. So, which is very good because, like I said, I can talk again normally. It's still really, really numb down here. And it makes it really hard. Like, it feels like my lip is down here, and there's something where my lip is that is preventing me from using my mouth normally. So, as far as talking wise, I'm good. I don't believe I have to worry about anything, just potential swelling and numbness down here. So, we're all good.
Honestly, I think I was extremely lucky with the way the first day went of this recovery. It really wasn't comfortable at first, but as I explained earlier in the clips, the dizziness I felt right after the surgery was gone by the beginning of the afternoon, and the bleeding in my back of my mouth completely stopped by 3 p.m. I had to replace the gauze every so often. I'm not sure how often to be exact, but if the gauze turns pink from the blood instead of a reddish color, that means that the bleeding is beginning to stop, and that's exactly what happened to me. I noticed there was pink gauze, so I stopped using it. I'd imagine that this bleeding doesn't stop that early for many people, which is why I felt lucky. And as soon as I took the gauze out of my mouth, I felt like I could speak again normally. Also, I think it's important worth mentioning that I only had 3 wisdom teeth instead of the typical 4 or 0, which made the surgeon's work and made my treatment or recovery much easier. It also could have been a reason why bleeding and pain hasn't been a serious problem for me yet. As for treatment, it will likely last 10 more days, and there are a few more things that I need to do. I'll have to take my regular medications as explained near the beginning of the video. I might also have to take the pain-killing medications if I do experience any pain. I've had more pain on the right side of my mouth than on the left side, because obviously I had two teeth removed on the right and 1 on the left. This pain usually happens when I open my mouth like wide open like this. Ow. But like otherwise I don't really feel a ton of pain. The biggest thing that I'm going to have to monitor over the next 10 days is my diet. I have to eat soft and at worst warm foods in order to properly digest. When your bottom lip is that numb and you try to eat something, you feel like your bottom lip is your tongue, which makes the positioning of the food feel very weird to you, and the muscles around your teeth and lips are like still numb, which is why you can't use them to like bear down on your food, if you know what I mean. Also, the food has to be like at most warm, not hot, because eating hot food can lead to additional bleeding, swelling, and discomfort, which is basically the exact opposite purpose of this. The surgery manual said that I should expect the most amount of swelling and discomfort on day 3, which for me, if I have my dates correct, is basically most of tomorrow and part of Wednesday. And after that though, it should get better. And by next week, I'm expecting to feel fully recovered, and I should be able to eat and drink like normal. And honestly, at the rate that this is getting better at, could be even sooner than that, which is great. In the meantime, don't be surprised if there aren't many video uploads this upcoming week, as I'm going to ultimately try to prioritize my recovery for my wisdom teeth removal. I'll aim to make my 500 subscriber special video as decided by you viewers sometime this week. Since I can digest milkshakes and a majority of you voted for me to do the homemade milkshake blind taste test, that is what I'm gonna do. I'm probably not gonna make a part 2 of this wisdom teeth removal vlog, but I might add some photos and videos on my Instagram at atomic1422 official. You can find the link to my Instagram in the description below for you to check out. Before I go, I have one more clip that I'd like to show you guys. I'm not sure if YouTube will allow me to keep it in the video or not, as it's not really clear to me if it follows the guidelines, and it's not like the prettiest thing to see. So if you are kind of sensitive, I would suggest maybe you just exit out of the video as we're pretty much done here. What does someone's wisdom teeth really look like when removed?
So I'm not sure if this is for camera, but here are my wisdom teeth. I actually only have 3, but they must have moved an extra 2 to that's the ones that need to be removed.
So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to go ahead and drop a like down below and smash the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. Our next goal is to reach 600 subscribers, so your support in getting me there would mean the world to you, boy. Also, comment down below and I'll 100% reply to you. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Aw, man, it's honestly not very comfortable me talking so much, but thank you guys. See you guys later.
Oh my God!